Dewsbury on the outskirts of Leeds. 30-year-old Mohammed Sadiq Khan lived here. He's thought to be responsible for the Edgware road bomb.
Also, the originally named fifth man, Harun Rashid Aswad, used to live here. Just south of Leeds, this less built-up area is very different from Beeston. The media didn't target the community here in the same way, and so I think I might have a better chance of getting people to speak.
It's still a blur. I mean, why would he go and do that, you know, become a suicide bomber? He's just a normal, everyday person.
I met Wasim at a local snooker club, and he, along with many people in the area, had known Mohammed Khan.
He was married to a girl that lived next door to my cousin, so we knew him pretty well. We also went to school with him. It was quite shocking when we heard, you know, what had happened, and basically who it had happened to was even more shocking, because you don't expect it to happen, or you don't expect somebody to do something like that, somebody that you know.
Wasim was born and brought up here, and he's offered to take me on a drive around Dewsbury and Batley. Not in the Ferrari. That's his mate's motor.
Okay, this is where the tour begins. This is Bradford Road, Batley. It's an up-and-coming area, basically. It's booming in business at the moment. There's a lot of business development being done around here. A lot of apartments being built. The main population is Muslim around here. This is one of the first mosques.
Wasim says he's well known in the area, and he's sure someone will agree to talk to me if he asks them.
Have a chat with some people of the local community. I've got Channel 4 with me. They just want to talk to a few people. Channel 4.
This is perhaps not the best way to get people to go on camera, even though Wasim assures me he knows absolutely everyone.
Excuse me, hi, we're doing a documentary with Channel 4.
And if we drive around long enough, someone will say
Are
yes.
you sure? Okay, cheers.
At last, he's managed to persuade a couple of lads to talk.
It's affected a lot of people in different ways, but I think it's all media basically. Media is making it out to be something that it isn't. Our religion means peace, and it's a way of life from the moment you're born till the moment you die.
How does that affect you?
It affects me in the sense that if I try and get a job, and if they ask me what my religion is and I put Muslim next to it, they think twice about employing me because they're scared that I might blow them up. You know what I mean? Which is what I wouldn't do. I just want to earn a living, but I can't do it.
So if the religion promotes peace, why do people believe it's a threat?
They know that Islam is right and it's the world's fastest growing religion, and that's what they don't want, you know what I mean? They don't want our religion to be on top of them lot. It's all a conspiracy, I'm telling you.
A conspiracy? Well, the media is undoubtedly a very powerful opinion former. We get all our news filtered through TV and the press, but it doesn't change the fact that 4 young men from Yorkshire became suicide bombers. It seems pretty clear they believed they were doing it in the name of Islam. They must have got their ideas from somewhere. After 7/7, the finger was pointed firmly at mosques and Islamic schools called madrasas for fostering extremists. So what really goes on in these places?
I myself am a product of one of these schools. So I went to one of these schools as a youngster. If you see me as a radicalist, or if you see me blowing myself up, you can forget about it. It's not happening. As far as radicalism goes, I think the media blows it out of proportion as to what people do in their privacy and what goes on in places like that. The teachings of Islam is what goes on, which is peace. That's what Islam teaches, which is what we believe in. It's more important than all the money you can make, more important than any car you can drive, more important than anything.
In fact, there never was any suggestion that local mosques or madrasas were implicated in the 7/7 plot. The idea really comes from the trouble surrounding the Finsbury Park Mosque in London, where it was reported 3 of the 4 bombers went to hear the Imam Abu Hamza speak. He taught openly that Muslims were obliged to kill unbelievers to defend Islam. Hamza is now serving a 7-year sentence for inciting murder and racial hatred. and the Muslim believers I've met are pleased to see the back of him. They don't recognise Islam in what he preaches at all.
When we think of the sheikhs, Omar Bakri and Abu Hamza, Muslims would never call them sheikhs. Sheikhs is a very respectful term, and it's a term that's given to people of great stature and great knowledge. But it was the media who purported them as sheikhs, and that is even more incredulous than displaying Muslims as something that they are far from. So you're suddenly giving these titles, like you understand what the titles mean, and you're giving these titles to these people who are certainly not acting as Muslims, not by a long chalk.
Wasim has brought me to a place known locally as the Islamic Snooker Club. It almost exclusively attracts young British Muslim men. True to his word, he's persuaded some of them to talk to me. After 7/7, yeah? Some people say they've questioned their identity. Have all those things that are going on in the world, have they affected your view of your identity?
It's like more or less affected us as a community, innit? It's like all the Pakistanis are being called terrorists.
How does that make you feel?
Make you feel like outcast, really, innit? When really you're not, when you're born and bred here. You feel like one of them, really, innit? So, that's about it.
What about you, Asib?
As a Muslim, yeah, it has affected me. If I go out into a place where there's non-Muslims there, then I feel to myself like I'm going to be attacked. I work in a retail where I see loads of people. I see all sorts of people, and I have had funny looks from odd few people. They just think he's a Muslim, is cause trouble, and that's not me. I don't like causing trouble.
The attitude that those types of people have, where do you think they could have got it from?
Media, propaganda and all that. End of the day, the media is like the core of everything, isn't it? It's like everyone watches TV, everyone listens to radio. So like, they get like fed. It's like basically getting hand-fed, really, isn't it?
Just bringing it on us, isn't it? We're normal people.
These lads feel like they're being pushed out of mainstream life, made to feel different and dangerous because of what happened on 9/11 and then 7/7. When I was the same age as them in 1991, me and my Asian friends would also criticise the media, but for very different reasons. We'd grown up seeing very few Asian characters on TV, and when we did, sometimes they were even played by white actors. By the end of the 90s, I felt we'd begun to achieve our goals. There were strong Asian characters in the soaps, reporting the news, and in entertainment. I thought things could only get better. But talking to these young men, I'm seeing a real change. They feel that they're all now seen as potential terrorists, and it makes no sense to them. Because of this, they think just about everyone in government and the media is lying to them.
I used to love watching news. I used to always read paper at work. After that, I've never bothered with it. I've just thought there's no point, because end of the day, the more I read it, the more my head is going to get twisted up, and I don't want that. I just want to, like I said before, I just want to earn my money, bring it home, and that's it.
Every single day, without any sign of relent at all, for several years now, they're seeing themselves portrayed as this sort of dark, ugly other who shouldn't be trusted and perhaps to a great extent isn't even welcome in the country that they call home. And that's a huge thing. That's a massive thing to try and deal with.
But their mistrust goes even deeper than accusations of distortion. Many believe the real story behind the war on terror is far more sinister than the mainstream media will even consider. Alternative theories about 9/11 have been circulating via the internet for several years, copied and passed around on DVDs.
He's an American citizen himself who made it, and he shows you in full detail the DVD of what happened and how it happened. When something falls, something big falls, and it's been attacked from the side of the building, it's going to fall on its side, but it won't fall straight down unless you want it to fall straight down. And in that DVD, fireman saying it went down, bang, bang, bang. So that's like demolishing a proper building, and it's done itself. That DVD just proves that the Americans did it themselves. It was all planned out before.
I've read about these theories on the web, and they make some pretty outrageous claims. But one thing's for sure, they're extremely popular, and hundreds of thousands of people across the world believe in them. Clearly, they're influencing a generation of young people.